Hey Group 1, it's Sun. Thank you so much for tuning in to your next Pick a Card reading. What's next? Your love life in February. This is where I take a look at some predictions to see what you can expect and what's going to come through for you in the month of February, in your love life, in your connection. Let's just see what shows up, okay? So you all were drawn to the mystical, no, yes, this is the mystical manga tarot. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the energies that show up for you with the mystical manga tarot. Thank you. All right. What's next? Your love life in February. In the month of February, what's next for Group 1? Okay, so you have the Eight of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Page of Swords. There's a masculine energy that possibly wants to try to move on, but they can't help watching you, can't help wondering about you, what you're up to. There's somebody that could be new. All right, yeah, the King of Wands here. And the Sun. Nice. All right, and so at the bottom of the deck, we have Justice. So we'll get to that in a second. All right. And what's your main focus? Let's see what your main love focus is, or what's your main theme. I'll rephrase that. What is the main theme of your love life in the month of February? All right, let's take a look. All right, your main theme is healing, okay? So it feels like there's some real healing in the works for your love life, whether that's a reunion, whether that's an apology. I get very strong apology energy. You do have Justice at the bottom of the tarot deck. So it does feel like there's an apology coming your way. It does feel like there's some justice. For some of you, there's like some closure from something that was hurting you. And so you get some type of understanding, some type of relief even. But there's definitely this energy that you're going to have a lot of healing in your love life in the month of February, okay? And so again, that can come in the form of communication from someone special. That can also just come in the form of communication and clarity, and truth and justice here. So you could be speaking your truth. You could be hearing the truth. Like I said, there's someone that possibly is wanting to move forward, but this person may find themselves moving closer to you. They may find it very difficult to move on from you. They can't help but watch you. They can't help but spy, but see what you have going on. And so that in itself can feel like justice, right? It doesn't feel like you're doing any chasing in the month of February. So it can feel like there's some balance coming to your love life, like things are going to even out. Things are going to feel like they're coming across as very honest, very truthful, very fair, all right, for your love life. I do feel like this is saying there's also somebody is apologizing to you in the month of February when it comes to your love life. So your overall theme is going to be healing, where I do feel like you get some sort of justice in your love life, where something turns out to be balanced, something turns out to be fair, something turns out to work out in your favor. All right, so some energies coming through. You may be connecting to an air sign or a fire sign in February. That could be an Aquarius, a Leo, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, Aries. All right. Those are the main energies showing up: air signs and fire signs. Very strong air sign energy, strong fire sign too, but very strong air sign energy. So you could also be represented, or you can have those placements in your chart. But there could also be more than one masculine trying to get your attention, or that there's some sort of focus on in the month of February. These are relationships that could mean something to you. And so it could just be something that you're working on in the month of February. So you have the Eight of Pentacles, where I feel like you're doing your part to make an effort towards someone, okay? I actually feel like this will be rewarded with attention. This will be rewarded with passion here. I feel like there's a chance that you're connecting to someone who sees your effort, who appreciates your effort, and who will communicate to you in a way that feels very clear. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Eight of Pentacles here. All right, there we go. All right, so why is the Eight of Pentacles showing up for your love life in the month of February? The Four of Swords, all right? I feel like if you're making an effort to like take a break to honor somebody's space, that person really sees you doing the work. They really see that you're not doing anything to like I say, you're not chasing at all. So I do feel like you are making an effort to give somebody their space. This person feels like they really appreciate that. They feel like they're going to speak on it. They're going to say something that really makes a difference, that really matters to you in this energy. I feel like there is like this communication showing up. It may not feel the most warm initially. It may not feel the most like loving. It may feel a little detached emotionally as far as that communication, but there will be clarity because I feel like you're giving somebody that space, you're taking a break, you're doing what's necessary in order to heal, in order to rest when it comes to your love life, so that you're not putting too much on yourself, so that you're not finding yourself overwhelmed. So the Four of Swords is here with the Four of Wands. Yeah. I feel like you could be taking a break from somebody, but it doesn't change the fact that there's still something here between you and that person. I also feel that for some of you, while you are taking a break from a union, there is a chance that you could connect to someone else. Like I said, you do have more than one energy here. So there's a chance that you could connect to someone else. The number four could be significant for the month of February for you. But I do feel like if you are making that effort to discipline yourself and show some restraint in your love life, it is going to pay off, especially with somebody who's already coming across as somewhat like not comfortable, maybe like at least at this time expressing themselves. They are going to at some point express themselves with clarity, with conviction, and with some type of emotion at some point. Okay. Some of you are dealing with somebody who you feel like they may have tried to cut you off. They may have tried to move on here, or they may be trying to do that in the month of February. And again, it's really seeming like it's going to be a challenge for this person because they're still going to be watching you. They're still going to be seeing what you're up to. This person may find you irresistible. So let's go ahead and see who this King of Swords is. It can also be someone new that you're meeting that's trying to keep things professional. Depending on its, context is important. So depending on where and how you meet this person, they just may be trying to keep things professional. This can be somebody you're connected to who's in a high office, somebody who's in the military, somebody who has some type of position, some type of status here. You can actually be attracting more than one individual that has some type of status. So two flipped out, but we'll take this one first. So it's the Nine of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, this person is like trying to like resist you in the month of February, but they're not going to be able to. I feel like this person may be trying to block you out. They may be coming across as a little bit cold, a little bit defensive when it comes to communication, but that's something that's not going to be able to last. This person is going to break at some point, and they are going to either reach out to you or make it very clear to you that they're ready to communicate, they're ready to talk. You have the Judgment that flipped out in the reverse. So I'll take that. Yeah, this person feels like they make a bad decision about you in February. That again, I feel like it brings either some closure or some sort of justice. to your situation with them. I mean, you either see this person for who they truly are and it's not as dramatic and as hurtful as you thought it would be, or there's something about this person realizing their own behaviors in at some point in the month, and wanting to turn that behavior around. This King of Swords though is going through some justice themselves. It feels like there's some bad karma attached to them. This person may have hurt you, may have done you wrong, and so they're facing some type of uh, karmic situation. This can also be a karmic partner, somebody that teaches a very important lesson when it comes to your love life in February, but they're not meant to stay because you're meant to be with somebody else, or there's somebody else who's starting to make their way towards you, whether you're aware of this person or not. So yeah, there's like somebody who's been somebody you romantically invested in, or somebody who at some point wanted some romantic investment in you. This person realizes that they made some type of bad decision at some point, possibly even trying to move on from you. And so this person tries to possibly come back to your life or show up in a different form. This could be the same person, like, okay, let me show up a little bit differently. Since I've been so cold, since I've been so detached and distant, let me try to show up differently. So the Six of Swords, I do feel like this is a person that tries to move on, but they have romantic feelings. This is the Page of Cups here. So yeah, they're sending you some sort of sign, some sort of communication, some sort of message in the month of February. This can also be poetry, songs. This person can be very creative with how they express themselves in February. They can tell you that they like you. They could tell you they want to start off as friends. They want to see where that goes. So you have an opportunity for sure to have more than just a casual relationship with someone in the month of February. The Page of Cups is the Six of Cups, right? So this person tries to move on, but it feels like they recognize that they are your soulmate here, that you still have a lot of unfinished business. That's what it also feels like. This King of Swords may feel like they have unfinished business. If it's the same person as this like Page of Swords, King of Wands, this person tries to take a different approach towards you this month. So they don't want things to be over. They don't want closure. While you're trying to have healing and have closure, this person is wanting to heal the rift in your connection, or heal something that feels like it needs to be worked through in your relationship. This person also feels like they have a strong soul bond and soul connection to you. So they're really just trying to fix things through communication, through let's start over, let's talk it out, things like that. So the Page of Swords is where they may be spying on you online, or texting you, trying to get information about what's going on in your life, trying to get an update here. So the Page of Swords is the Star. Yeah, if this person is inquisitive and curious about you this month, it's because they're trying to get some type of information from you about what's going on so that they can make their move. I feel like this person may be a little bit afraid that while you're separating yourself and respecting and honoring some type of distance here, you could possibly run into somebody else. And so before that happens, this person has faith that you can restore the relationship through talking with them or communicating with them, letting them know it's okay for them to pursue you. This person also may want to be pursued. They are in King energy, but the reason they may want to be pursued is because of something that happened in your past with them. And so they may feel bad about their behavior, and they're wanting to know if they still have a chance. So that could be a way that they see if they have a chance. But you're not taking that bait. I feel like you are doing you, and you're allowing this person to find their way back to you if that's what they're meant to do. So the Star here is like this person being really hopeful that they can pursue you and come towards you. It's the Queen of Swords. So I feel like because this person was giving you some type of distance emotionally this month, you are definitely respecting that and you're honoring that. And I feel like it makes this person want to get closer to you, group one. So your love life in the month of February can definitely be about reconciliation. Okay. It definitely feels like you standing up for yourself and you standing on business where this person is not really able to like stand on their business. It feels like it puts you in a position of power throughout this month and in your relationship, and it feels like you're coming from a position of strength. It feels like you have moral clarity. It feels like you know what you want even if this person doesn't. It feels like you have something to say as well. So you're not just going to let them communicate what they need to communicate without you saying what you need to say. So it could definitely be a month of talks, of negotiating. I sometimes, when I see the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, I feel negotiations, right? Again, maybe not the most warm, but first things first. It before we get to like this King of Wands, this sun, this warm, passionate energy, there has to be some sort of clarity. There has to be some truth brought forward. This person has to speak the truth. They have to tell you they were wrong. They have to tell you they made a bad decision. They have to be honest about they were trying to walk away. They were trying to leave you alone, but they just can't stop watching you or stop finding you irresistible or something like that. Okay. So we go into the King of Wands where it feels like this person regroups, they either transform, um, but because they're watching you, there's something about you that brings out the warmth. It like cracks the ice on this person's heart and it reveals this very warm, loving, divine masculine energy. So this person may still need a little bit of time to prove that they're the person for you, that they are your soulmate, that they are your divine counterpart. But I do feel like there is some effort because you put in the work, because you made the effort. This person feels like this is a time for them to make that effort. Okay. So the Emperor, just as I was speaking on this person feeling like they may need to convince you a little bit more that they're your soulmate and that they're your divine counterpart, the Emperor shows up, taking charge and taking control of the situation in the month of February. So this feels like someone who you could create a very strong relationship with. Now, for some of you, this will be a new person showing up, making an entrance into your life. So if that's the case, this person is strong, they're level headed, they're passionate, they're assertive, they do not mind getting what they want and going after what they want. And what it looks like they want is you. So whether it's this King of Swords whose heart melts and starts to feel a little warm when it comes to you, or this is a new person who is taking over from this King of Swords because they were not able to get it together, it does feel like you see a good sign of romantic companionship in your love life in the month of February. So this Emperor is strong, they're attractive, they're sexy. This is somebody that's well dressed. This is typically a person, especially with the King of Wands, somebody who has goals, who has dreams, who knows how to make their dreams come true, who's not intimidated by your strength. There's the Queen of Cups in the reverse. All right, this person may have somebody jealous that's connected to them as well. So just keep that in mind because the Queen of Cups is in the reverse. So this Emperor may be going through a separation or a divorce from somebody separate of you. This Emperor may also need to work on temper tantrums or emotional maturity, but it does feel like they have the capacity to work through that. If it feels like they're a little bit emotionally out of control at times or just too passionate and gets too deep in their feelings, this is somebody that will need to learn how to restrain themselves. But I do feel like this King of Wands is somebody that is trying to keep someone at bay so that they can pursue you. So that can be an ex, that can be somebody that's very upset about this person being emotionally investing in you or wanting to emotionally invest in you. All right, the person that they could be connected to. could be an Aquarius, could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, an Aries. All right, this could be somebody that has a problem with this person pursuing you romantically. So they may not be a big deal in the month of this third party, may not be a big deal in the month of February, but they are somebody who's making a little bit of noise about you, about you and about this person being very attracted to you, okay, and wanting something with you. So the sun, this is where dreams are coming true in your love life. This is where you're happy. This is where there's some fulfillment. This is where you're starting to feel a sense of completion. Like things are coming together. Things are actually working out in your love life in the month of February. So something works. Something definitely works. I'm sorry, this is the Page of Cups. This was the Knight of Cups. So let me go back to this a little bit. The Knight of Cups here definitely has something to say. That feels like it's the King of Swords energy wanting to express themselves to you about how they feel about your soulmate connection. This person is also maybe being a little sneaky, like I said, trying to make a move on you before someone else can. And it does feel like you're starting over in your love life. So whether it's with this person or you're considering someone new, it does feel like you have a chance to start over. And I do feel like there's attraction between you and whoever you could be connecting to in the month of February. It just feels like you're likable, you're lovable. You have this emotional depth and this emotional warmth that's attracting masculine energy. So that Page of Cups is like a text message, it's a phone call, it's communication from someone that you really like, somebody that you're very attracted to. Somebody could be sharing that they have like a crush on you. There's the Five of Cups in the reverse. This person is wanting to get rid of all of their emotional baggage throughout the month of February. You could also be getting rid of your emotional baggage. Like I said, clarity, truth, reconciliation, those are all themes that could be showing up for your love life in February because you've done the work. You've put in the effort when you were being encouraged to separate yourself and to show restraint when it came to a love situation. You did, or you have, or you are doing that. And so it's going to pay off where you are going to be the one that's going to be pursued. This Five of Cups in reverse is saying that you are going to be able to let go of the past. You are going to be able to let go of anything holding you back emotionally. So somebody else is going to be helped by that. And be able to connect to you a lot better. Somebody's letting go of somebody in order to connect to you deeper as well. So in the extended, I am going to take a look at healing as a theme for your love life to see what else comes through. I'm also going to grab messages from the Love Oracle just to take a look at more of what you can expect for your love life in the month of February. And we have Not Today. Not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call, person, boundaries, still angry. So I'm going to grab more of these cards. I'm going to clarify them, get more information for you. I'm also going to take a look at more from the Mermaid Oracle to see what else you can expect in your love life in the month of February. I'm going to take a look at some messages that may come through in the month of February, things you may hear, emotions that may be expressed, feelings that may come through. And I'll also take a look at some advice. How should you go about your love life in the month of February? Okay, so group one, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, make sure you check out TheSunSage.com. That link is in the description box. And you can also check out those exclusive extras that I have in the description box, including how you can get to the extended reading links. All right. So don't forget to hit that like, hit the subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, share the content. And again, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, TheSunSage.com. I'm taking this to the extended now. Hello, Group 2. It's Sun. Thank you so much for tuning in to your next pick a card reading, which is What's Next? Your Love Life in February. So this is where I get a look at some insight and predictions into what you can expect and look forward to throughout the month of February for your love life, okay? So what can you expect in your connection? What can you just expect overall from a suitor or possible suitors? So let's go ahead and take a look at what shows up and comes through. You all were drawn to the Wizard's Tarot. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's showing up for you and your energy for your love life. All right. So group 2, you have the Six of Swords, the Three of Cups. It looks like you're trying to get away from your current love situation and move on to something better. Okay, Four of Cups. You could be bored, ready for something new, ready for something more exciting here in your love life. All right, have the Queen of Wands and something else flipped here. The Five of Swords. Okay. Oh, something's underneath that. I'll take it. The Nine of Wands. So you have the Queen of Wands, Five of Swords, Nine of Wands. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Six of Pentacles. Okay. So you could be dating or open to dating in the month of February. All right. I feel like you want some fresh energy. You could be getting dressed up. Let's see what a major theme for your love life in February will be. Let's take a look at a main theme here from the Mermaid Oracle. Feelings, okay? So your feelings are your top priority. I feel like in the month of February, you're basically looking inside yourself to see what it is you desire, what it is you want, and you're doing your best to honor that. I feel like for some of you, that's wanting like some type of fresh energy. For others of you, you just want fresh energy within a relationship. And so you do want to get back with someone, and that could be likely, but I do feel like it's a little anticlimactic. With the Six of Pentacles, you're all about exchange of energy this month, right? And you're all about your feelings this month and what going off of what your heart wants. So you're following your heart. All right. It looks like with the Six of Pentacles, you are looking for someone who is also going to follow their heart in your direction. And so overall, you are open to your person or connecting to someone you're familiar with, or you could be just putting someone on notice or wanting to put someone on notice that, hey, you can also give this energy to other people, to someone else. So that could be like the vibes for you in the month of February, because you're going off of your feelings here. You're going off of your passion. And that makes sense because the Queen of Wands is here. And the Queen of Wands does go off of passion, typically off of feelings and emotion, that fiery energy of not being able to just stay put and, stick to sort of one sort of direction, needing to have some type of options here or something like that. So that could just be where you are throughout February. Again, you're following whatever your feelings tell you to do. So initially, your feelings could be telling you it's time to move on, right? It's time to disconnect from someone so that you can have a better love experience elsewhere. So some of you may definitely try that, or you may initiate that in the month of February. There could be something about that backfiring, so just be careful. If there's a situation you want to remain loyal to, or a situation where you feel like it's best for you to just wait for more clarity, that could be like something that you decide to do after realizing, I really don't think that I want to open myself up too much. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the Six of Swords here. So this Six of Swords is talking about moving out of rough waters, going into smoother waters, getting into a better situation. So romantically, I do feel like you're headed in the right direction. All right. I do feel like you could run into a hurdle or some sort of barriers or boundaries, but I do feel like at this time you are going in the right direction. All right, so let's take a closer look at that. What's the Six of Swords here? The Eight of Swords, okay. So you could feel stuck in a love situation and you're trying to get out of it. So you are going in the right direction. It just may feel like you're going nowhere fast. So it can feel like you're trying to move on, but you're not meeting new people fast enough. Or you have been dating or you're open to dating, but nobody's really sparking your interest. So that Eight of Swords feels like you may feel like you're in this circular motion of, yes, you're moving on, but you feel stuck in certain predicaments, stuck in certain situations, finding it hard to move on, finding it hard to get over someone, for some of you more specifically. So it just feels like with the Eight of Swords, with that Six of Swords, your movement is somewhat limited. Like you could be trying to find your way to a new romantic partner. But in the month of February, the focus is on you, the focus is on your feelings. And so that's what you could need to prioritize over somebody else meeting you and connecting to you or something like that. So the Eight of Swords is here with the Nine of Swords. Yeah, so I feel like some of you could get worried in February about your love life. You could again feel like it's going nowhere fast, like you feel trapped in a situation. This could just be your self imposed limitations where you're not moving on because you're staying connected to somebody, and it could be time to really cut that situation off. But you could be trying to have your cake and eat it too, or you just find it really difficult to fully detach from someone. So it makes it difficult for you to run into new people and to have new, better situations and experiences. Um, you could be afraid of starting over when it comes to your love life in the month of February. You could definitely have a fear of new beginnings or a fear that things won't go well. So you could just be wanting to have more clarity, or this may be a time where you basically love on yourself and you pour into your love life and see what type of energy you get from other people. So speaking of other people, you go into the Three of Cups, where it's very likely you're going to meet new people or a new person. It's very likely, especially if you're getting out there, if you're allowing friends to hook you up, if you're online dating, there's definitely a chance that you're going to meet someone. And I feel like this could be fun for you as well. It's something that you may not take so seriously. Some of you may want to get back with someone, but I do feel like this looks like an online surge, Page of Swords here with that Three of Cups. So I typically look at that as like online dating, these two combined together. It's kind of like online dating. It's kind of like you're curious about what's out there. You're curious about who could be interested in someone like you. And so you do have some options here that open up to you in the month of February. Romantically, you may friend zone someone or people. It may just be difficult for things to go deep. Okay, in February, it could just be a difficult time because you're still maybe not as open as you thought you were, right? Maybe you're like, "Oh, I'll date somebody. I'm okay with like starting over," but you're still attached to something from the past, or still attached to your goals and dreams that you had with another person. So the Page of Swords here is, I feel like you're searching for something, justice in the reverse. Just be mindful that this is a month where it could be very difficult for people to tell the truth to you, to be honest with you. So even if you are connecting to someone new or meeting people, it does feel like it's something you shouldn't take too seriously. There could be like you're looking for lies. You're looking for information about individuals. Where are they like dishonest? What are they not telling the truth about? You could be doing background searches on romantic interests. So it definitely feels like there's energies here that you're just not the most trusting, and that could be your blockage too. You may see yourself as open and ready for a new love situation, but you may not be as trusting as you would like to be when you do start that experience. So it could just be showing up with justice in reverse in the Page of Swords also, that you're not trusting your person, that you're not trusting what they say, that you need more clarity, that you need more time, that you need more information about something. So you're doing some digging when it comes to your love life in the month of February for sure, because I feel like it's just anticlimactic. Like, it's just not as interesting as you wanted it to be. Something may not be unfolding as quickly as you wanted it to be, or as passionately as you wanted it to be. And you've got all this passion built in and all this love inside of you, and you want it to go to a partner. But I do feel like rushing into that process this month could be something that gets you in situations where you end up bored, where you end up not even interested in the long run. So let's go into the Four of Cups. All right. I think you're going to be ignoring someone too. Somebody could be trying to get your attention and you're not going to be interested. Yeah. A Knight of Pentacles. There may be somebody who's serious, okay? Somebody who definitely shows potential and has some interest in you. But I feel like you may look at this person as boring. You may not really be as invested as they are. You could want different things from this individual and they just may not be your type. They could be somebody who could have all the qualities you want, or a lot of the qualities you want, but you just don't feel that chemistry. You just don't, like, that happens, right? You can meet somebody who's like, oh, you're like, oh, they're educated, they're attractive, but there could just be something missing. With a Knight of Pentacles, that person could be a Virgo, all right, also a Capricorn, Taurus, but they could just be somebody that has what it takes in the long run, right? They would need some time. You have to go slow with them, and that just may be something that you're bored doing. You just don't want to do this month, okay? The energies mainly coming through Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, okay, Gemini. All right, those are mainly the strongest energies right now. Like I said, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. What's the Knight of Pentacles? It's the King of Wands. All right, Leo energy, also Aries, Sag. I think you're just bored with the options that are presenting themselves to you, right? I think that there's also something about these individuals you could just need more information about. It may not have anything to do with their credentials, right? They could have what it takes, but February is just a month where it could be like it's just too soon to tell, right? And so this could need to take more time to develop before you decide whether you want to engage in romantic potential with this individual or more than one individual. And like I said, if you're dating, if you're meeting more than one person, if you are open to new experiences and you're actually out there having these new experiences, it could be something where it gets old very fast for somebody like you who's very passionate and who feels like you may be still attached to someone, or you could be just wanting a really serious relationship and nobody is showing up like that, even though they're good looking, even though they have potential, even though they're well dressed and sexy and have this attractiveness about them. It's still something that could be missing. And so you could also just be very careful about moving on with someone, which could lead you to maybe seeing someone as maybe it's just a physical thing. Maybe it's just something you should pursue physically. And that could be something that where if you're not careful, it could just backfire. So we go into the Queen of Wands here. The Queen of Wands goes after who she wants, okay? The Queen of Wands also doesn't mind being single for a while. Definitely can be a loyal partner, somebody who is very giving, very compassionate in a relationship, somebody who is very supportive. But it can feel like if you feel like you're too much for the individuals that you've been connecting to, you're not going to give them all of that. You're going to keep that for yourself. You're going to love yourself and be loyal to yourself more than anything and anybody. Show me the Queen of Wands. The Lovers. You're very attractive this month, and so that's why you're attracting, individuals. I feel like you're definitely being seen, okay? You're definitely being seen. You're being pined over. You're a temptation for some people. Gemini energy here. You could be somebody who is a twin already, so you have a person, but that person might not be acting right because they're not really showing up strongly in the reading. And if they are, you're bored with that person. If like your person is this Knight of Pentacles, King of Wands, or Knight of Pentacles or King of Wands, right? True pair energy, this person may not be showing you what they need to show you right now. And so you're like, I wonder what else is out there, right? I wonder if I can attract other people. Yes, you will attract other people because you're beautiful, you're sexy. In the month of February, you do have your option to move forward. But again, it feels like a part of you is attached to someone or a relationship idea. The Three of Swords. So you may be a bit of a heartbreaker in February, okay? Just be mindful that this can also be energy of being heartbroken. And so moving forward in February could be very difficult. But I do feel like you're the one that's the heartbreaker. I just noticed this picture on the lovers. So hope I don't get flagged. But yeah, you could be somewhat of a person who is like in control of your love life and or trying to stay in control of your love life. You might actually be the one that's like hurting someone or breaking someone's heart this month because they're just not measuring up, or the experience is just not where you want it to be, where you would like it to be. So you're just wanting to move on. The Five of Swords, be careful of sabotaging your love life with like really rash, quick decisions, not really thinking things through, because it does feel like with the Five of Swords, you could sabotage yourself. You could also unknowingly welcome somebody into your life who could sabotage your love life. Gemini energy, also Aquarius, Libra. So what's the Five of Swords? It's the, what is this? The Knight of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, you could unknowingly welcome a player into your life. So basically, this is saying, law of attraction. Be careful of what you're attracting with the Lovers and the Three of Swords. You could be attracting someone who has a history of running off on the people that they hook up with or they connect to. This can be somebody who brings a lot of passion, who brings a lot of excitement and fun, which is what you could be looking for, but they don't stick around, okay? They don't have any intentions of having something long term. This is really player energy with this Knight of Wands in the reverse. With the Five of Swords, somebody who's a cheat, somebody who's dishonest, somebody who won't honor your feelings, who'll care only mainly about themselves. So it feels like you do meet somebody like that this month or interact with somebody like that this month. You might just be careful of making sure that it's not too long term. What's the Knight of Wands in the reverse? It's the Knight of Swords. And this person likes the chase. They love to chase. They love to come in really fast. They love to get what they want and then leave. So this is definitely a player energy that you connect to. Or you are showing up as a player group too. In February, you're showing up as somebody who might have that likes the chase and the thrill of a relationship or some type of connection, but you don't stick around for long. It does feel like you could be attracting that type of individual. If you're saying you don't want to stay in a situation anymore, what you could be attracting is somebody who doesn't like to stay in situations and somebody who doesn't like to do their research first. You do seem like you like to do your research, but you could just be running into individuals that you need to be tested with, like to see if you have the strength and the discipline to like reject them or something, because they're definitely coming your way, or somebody is coming your way that won't have the best intentions in the month of February. But this person could be somebody that you're very attracted to because they're moving how you want them to move in order to be seen as exciting and interesting. So the Nine of Wands, you may need to protect yourself from an energy vampire for sure in your love life in the month of February, because it looks like you are trying to defend yourself from someone. The Nine of Cups, this, you could think that this person is your wish or something that you want, and they could just prove you wrong. All right. But again, you get some type of excitement, all right? It may not be the most long-term situation. It could be very short-lived, but you do get some type of excitement this month. You get some type of thrill because you're going off of feelings. You're going off of passion for the most part. What's the Nine of Cups? It's the Nine of Pentacles. And so this can represent a single person. It can also represent that you're just independent. You really don't need anybody. You can handle things on your own. You don't really need a partner. It looks like you don't have so much of a partner in February. You have a person of interest, or you have people of interest. And so you may or may not invest in those connections. But I feel like if you decide not to invest in those connections, you would be protecting yourself. You would be investing in yourself, because this is good energy to have with the Nine of Wands. It's all nines here. It's a symbol of you're almost finished, like running the course of some challenge or some test. Like you're almost there. Like February may not be your month of union, or it may not be a time for you of feeling like you're in union, but this is a time where your self-love journey can really improve and it can really get better. So it strongly is coming through that in February, your love journey is about yourself. You're open to exchanging energy. You're open to having new experiences, but only if they feel right. So in the extended, I am going to grab more themes to see what else you can look forward to in your love life. I'm also going to grab more from the love oracle. I'll grab one here. So we have keys on a ring. Yeah, many options, decision, unconventional, string along, one night stand. So that showed up in the reading, that energy. So I'll grab more of those messages and we'll see what shows up. I will grab more themes for your love life to see what shows up. I'm also going to take a look, and I'm going to clarify all of those oracles as well. I'm also going to take a look at some messages that you may hear this month from someone, or some feelings and vibes that come through from a love interest. And I'm also going to take a look at advice, right? How should you handle this month of February when it comes to your love life? So group 2, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate you for liking the video, for subscribing to the channel. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, check out TheSunSage.com. Those details are in the description box. Don't forget to check out that exclusive content and those extras. Also, share the content, like and comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'm taking this to the extended now. Hello, group 3. It's Sun. Thank you so much for tuning in to your next pick a card reading, which is what's next, your love life in February. So this is where I take a look at some predictions to see what's coming in for you for the month of February, what you need to know about your love life, your connection, who you could be connecting to, all of that. All right. So group 3, you were drawn to the Heaven and Earth Tarot. All right. And let's go ahead and get started and see what you can look forward to and what you can expect in the month of February when it comes to your love life. All right. So you have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. The Three of Swords. The Ace of Wands. Okay. The Eight of Swords. All right. I feel like you're trying to push through heartbreak in February. You're trying to find your strength and healing in February. The Six of Wands says victory. Okay. So that you could accomplish that. All right. Getting through a healing process. And you also have Five of Wands, strife. Okay. So I feel like February, well, let's see what's at the bottom here. The Fool. Yeah, you're pushing for a new start in your love life. All right. You're wanting to take some chances here. You're wanting to have new beginnings here. I want to get a main theme for you for the month of February. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what shows up. All right. From the Mermaid Oracle, a main theme. Okay, so free spirit, which is like that full card, and we're in Aquarius season, so that makes a lot of sense. It's like you're freeing yourself and you're working through freeing yourself. A lot of you are starting over, okay, and so you're dealing with the excitement of starting over while also dealing with maybe some residual hurt from the pain of having to end something. You're coming out of something and you're going into a totally new cycle and a new process of your love life. So for some of you, that means you're getting closer to a new person. And for others of you, that means you're getting closer to a new phase in a connection you're already experiencing. So with free spirit as the theme of your love life, I feel like you're really trying to detach yourself from any heavy emotions, any heavy feelings, anything that feels like it's not contributing to your growth, to your healing process when it comes to love, so that you can actually have those healing and loving experiences when it comes to your love life. So, a lot of you are working through grief, you're working through tense emotions, you're working through pain, but you're coming out on top. It's just, it feels like a constant fight for you in February. But again, there's something about this full energy that says you're kind of carefree, right? You know what it takes to get to a new beginning, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to do whatever you're going to do everything that it possibly takes to free yourself from anything that feels too restricting, anything in your love life or anybody in your love life that feels like they're trying to hold on to you. You're not allowing that, okay? So you're showing up as a free spirit. You're showing up as somebody who, if somebody wants you, they're going to have to show up very strong, because your energy in February group 3 is really about your healing process and being able to move forward from pain, from heartache, from struggle relationships or a struggle connection, and really fighting your way out of that, okay? So some of you may have been dealing with an earth sign, a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, where it feels like you're trying to heal from this individual. I feel like you're definitely on to something where you reach these strides, these like very small accomplishments and wins that are adding up in February. So to you, it can feel like this isn't much, but overall, it makes a big difference. I think your love life is going to look a little bit different after February. There's going to be a lot more positive energy, but I feel like that's because you're doing the work in February. So the Seven of Pentacles, which says success unfulfilled. So you could be grappling with like disappointment in a relationship or in a person, okay, in February. Like somebody you had a lot of romantic, saw a lot of romantic potential in, somebody that you feel like you could have put on a pedestal. You could have been investing time and energy into this person. This may be somebody that's let you down, okay? And I feel like in February you accept and sort of deal with that heartache and that pain, but with a great deal of strength. So let's see, something is not working out or didn't work out the way you wanted it to, but you're not letting that stop you from having a new beginning. The Seven of Cups is here in the reverse. So this feels like you're coming out of confusion, all right? You're really seeing a path forward for yourself and for your love life. You're not allowing a situation that feels like it was restricting or disappointing. You're not allowing that to define your romantic potential, and you're not allowing that to define your romantic future. So you're seeing a clear path forward for yourself when it comes to love. I think a lot of you are no longer confused about someone or about a situation or about your love life. You really are finding clarity in the month of February. And I also feel like through that clarity, there could just be some heartbreaking revelations. And what that can look like is, wow, this person never really grew up, or wow, this connection never really got off the ground. It can be like those type of heartbreaking revelations, but they could be revelations that are necessary for you to move forward. So clarifying the Seven of Cups in the reverse here it's the Hanged Man, where you see something from a different perspective, where you now all of a sudden have this shift because you're having epiphanies, or you've had an epiphany that helps you move forward in the month of February. So I feel like a lot of you are following the energy, that Aquarian energy throughout February. For the most part, you're freeing yourself, you're detaching from anything that feels like it stifles you. You're really not investing in anything that's not worthy of you. So you have the Seven of Cups in reverse with the Hangman, which makes a lot of sense because this is about a revelation. This is about having an epiphany. This is about seeing a clear way forward, that you've put in a lot of time and you've put in a lot of investment into something, but you don't have to continue to do that, right? You can separate yourself from that connection or that person, and you can really start to make things happen for yourself as soon as you get through your healing process successfully. So we go into the Three of Swords, which says sorrow. Okay. So that doesn't mean that you won't feel, so because you're freeing yourself and you're moving forward with a positive mindset, that doesn't mean that you won't feel some type of way emotionally. The Three of Swords is showing up with the Ace of Wands, and you have the Ace of Wands out here. So it already feels like that there's something being born out of this heartache. There's new energy, there's new life, there's new momentum here. Something is coming out of this shift that you're having throughout the month of February, something good. So this is an indication of exciting news, of good developments, of romantic potential. It's also an indication that you're finding your passion again. It's like sometimes you can lose passion for love and for relationships when you've gone through a lot. But a lot of you are renewing your passion, you're restoring your faith. And so that's a good energy that you're carrying with you throughout February, despite being in heartache and pain. The Ace of Wands is here with the Knight of Wands in the reverse. So yeah, I feel like you have new energy about you're seeing like player types or a player type from a new perspective. Like you're seeing this person or whoever this individual could be in February for who they really are. You're not romanticizing them, you're not lionizing them. You're really seeing them in as the way they are. And I feel like that does a lot for your momentum. It does a lot for your energy. A lot of you got excited about somebody, or you could get excited about somebody that doesn't have a lot of potential, and realizing that is hurtful, or realizing that is very sad, right? It's something like that where it's like, man, I thought this person was great, or man, I thought this person really had what I needed in a person. And you could just be coming to that realization, a very I feel a very clarifying realization that that's not the case. And it's something that could hurt your heart in the short term, but it really is something that frees you in the long term. It makes it more beneficial for you to move forward throughout February without holding on or attaching yourself to potential, right? So we go right into the Ace of Wands, where it feels like you could have like a new opportunity in love, where you could be starting over, where you could just see new potential in a different situation. So you're just careful of what you invest in that. But what's the Ace of Wands here? It's death. Okay, so you really are letting go. You really are freeing yourself from a situation that came across as very painful, as very taxing on you, as very emotionally hard. I feel like you're letting go of the past. I feel like in February, you're allowing yourself to feel more liberated when it comes to your love life, so that you can see more potential for yourself, so that you can see better situations and scenarios for yourself. So death here, what is this showing up with? Let's see. You have Scorpio energy, Pisces. All right, Aquarius. You have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. All right. With the Ace of Wands. Yeah, you're done not believing in yourself. You're done not seeing the truth in people. You're done not seeing the truth in someone, right? You are fully allowing yourself to be transparent and to be open and to be honest with yourself and go, well, you know what? Yes, they're sexy. Yes, they're fine, but they're not worth my time. You know, that rhymed. But yeah, you're allowing yourself to really see like the truth of situations, and you're done not believing what you see in the month of February group 3. So that can be like a very strong insight and very strong revelation that you're having for yourself. Um, I feel like there's like potential for anybody to enter your life, like something to happen unexpectedly, because there's not like individuals showing up yet necessarily. There was that Knight of Wands in the reverse, but I feel like for you to have this new energy, this new momentum, this new wave of excitement when it comes to love, I feel like the potential is limitless. I feel like your options are limitless here. I just feel like the focus and your theme is mainly about freeing yourself from these preconceived notions about love and relationships. Excuse me, and freeing yourself from any individual that feels like they didn't appreciate you, didn't respect you, or don't appreciate you or respect you in February. So the Eight of Swords is here. It says shortened force, where I feel like a lot of you are just trying to get off of this wheel, this cycle of feeling stuck just because something ended with somebody, right? Feeling like I have nowhere to go from here just because a relationship is over, all right? So let's see the Eight of Swords is showing up with the Four of Cups, right? Now you're more disinterested in this process of feeling stuck. It's like you're not giving it that much of you. You're not giving it that much energy. You're like, okay, I don't really care about feeling like I'm stuck. What am I learning here? That's what the Hangman will be about. You're more focused on what you're learning in the month of February when it comes to your love life. You're more focused on seeing things from a different perspective so that you can take into a new relationship wisdom that you didn't have in past relationships or a past connection. So I just strongly feel like a lot of you are thinking you're stuck, but you're not, right? That could just be a mindset that shows up. You're not. And I feel like it comes out of a lack of interest in what you're being presented with, basically. You're just not interested in what's out there or what's been presented to you, but that doesn't mean you don't have interest in love. That doesn't mean that you won't find somebody or that you don't have a soulmate. That just means that you're not interested in what's not special enough for you at this time. So what's the Four of Cups? Yeah, literally the Lovers. I'm going to cover this up because I was showing it in the last group. But yeah, I feel like a lot of you are just not interested in what is happening romantically or what's happening from suitors here. I feel like a lot of you could feel like you're in and out of cycles where you're attracted to somebody, you give them a chance, you go off of this soulmate attraction or this twin flame theory. And I feel like for some of you, you're just getting tired of it and you're more focused on having something meaningful, really connecting to a soul partner, a lifelong partner, without feeling like you have to label it or without feeling like you have to move forward with something just because you finally want something that works or you want something that's going to last. You're not forcing yourself on anybody in the month of February. I feel like your energy is, if somebody comes into my life and they're showing me what I need to see, I will consider it, right? I don't even feel like you're fully investing in potential in the month of February. I actually don't feel like you're putting too much investment in your romantic life. I feel like there's a lot of investment you are putting towards wisdom and that inner knowledge and what you can gain from these experiences as opposed to just jumping into another experience or staying in the same experience. I feel like you're more focused on how do you remain detached in situations that feel like they're not going to go anywhere. Okay. So the Six of Wands here says victory. Okay. So this is where I feel like you overcome a lot of that pain and heartache and frustration when it comes to love. So your heart is cleansing itself in February. Your mind is freeing itself from any sort of preconceived notions and stereotypes about love. Let's see what comes through with the Six of Wands. All right, so it's the Queen of Wands. All right, this is where you tap into your highest and best self. A lot of you are spiritually ascending, so that's where your focus is. Your victory is that you still look good. You're going to feel great about yourself. You're going to be very sexy. You're not missing out on anything in February. I feel like you're going to get attention. You're going to have people who are interested in you. You're going to have people who are probably pursuing you. But I feel like freedom and liberation are like your main theme, the main things you're focused on. You don't want to attach yourself again or attach yourself to anything that is not going to be for your highest good. And that's going to contribute to you looking good, to you feeling good, to you being your best self. What's the Queen of Wands? It's the High Priestess. Strong energy of divine feminine here. So a lot of you may have a lot of you may feel like you fell off your pedestal. Well, February is the month you reclaim your title of divine feminine, or you restore yourself in a way where you felt was impossible before. You feel all of those possibilities of being that strong, independent, feminine energy that's showing up here. So I feel like a lot of you overcome any type of small romantic battles. Like, let's say you meet somebody and that person they ask you out, and then a day before you're supposed to go out, they're like, I can't go. You're like, okay, right? That's the difference in sort of wallowing in that and being sad or depressed about somebody's rejection or somebody saying no or I can't, and feeling like, okay, I can just move forward, or we can just move forward. We can just pick another time, whatever it is. The challenge is, I feel like you are overcoming these tests one by one because you're trusting yourself, you're following your heart and your intuition, you're not compromising your passion, and you're staying true to yourself. All right, and you're staying true to your deepest instincts here, doing what your instincts tell. You're following your instincts. So you have the Five of Wands, which does say strife, where I feel like you're just fighting and winning those battles that require you to be yourself and remain yourself, even if you connect to somebody. There is the Fool again. Okay, so again, this is about you being a free spirit in the month of February, doing what you want to do too. That's a message that shows up with the Fool energy, being who you need to be, doing what you want to do, not letting anybody stop you or hold you back, even if they have romantic interest. Now, if you feel like competitive energy, it could come from a romantic interest because they're trying to get they're trying to get your time, they're trying to get to know you better. They're competing with your self-love to have love from you. And so you're just finding a way to either fit them in or to make it about you in a way that doesn't feel conceited. It just feels necessary. So the Fool, Aquarius energy again with strength here, Leo energy. Yeah, you're finding your strength. Or you're staying true to yourself in the month of February when it comes to your love life. You're not allowing anything to hold you back from true love experiences. I also feel like you're really tough to impress in the month of February. So anybody interested in you is really going to have to come correct. They're going to have to go hard because I feel like you're very strongly invested in your self-improvement. And if nobody can meet you where you are going to proudly reject and refuse them. So in the extended, I'm actually going to grab more from the Mermaid Oracle to get more about themes in your love life, what lessons are showing up, what themes are showing up. I actually want to grab one here from the Love Oracle, and I'll grab more and clarify in the extended. So you have healthy choices, yes, which says making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier. So that was the main whole thing of your reading. So I'm going to grab more of these and clarify. I'm going to grab more from the Mermaid Oracle and clarify. I'll also grab some messages from someone in their own words, things you could hear or just energies you can feel being expressed throughout the month of February for your love life. I'll also take a look at advice for you. So just getting a little bit more detail and information on what you can expect and look forward to for your love life in February. So, group 3, that is what I have for you. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it when you like the videos, when you subscribe to the channel, when you comment. I thank you so much. If you are interested in exclusive content, extended readings, check out those links in the description box. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, check out TheSunSage.com. That link is also in the description box. And I am taking this to the extended now.